So good morning, everybody. My name is Roberta Robbins. Welcome to this sacred conversation I'm having with my friend Julie this morning. We are already streaming live into the Cosmic Earth Weavers community, doing a little chat, saying hi to who is here. And of course, this will be a replay set out in various platforms from YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, Spotify, which is new for me, for podcasters, yay! And we'll share it. Julie and I will share this. So, Sacred Conversations. This has been going on for me since probably, I think, about 2017, starting to get back into the flow of it. Who doesn't like a beautiful conversation with wonderful people, getting into like what they're doing, what magic they're weaving in the world. You'll hear me use the word, if you don't know me, you'll hear the word weaving a lot. Sacred, wisdom, magic. Oh, there's, and probably a few other ones. Divine, integrity, soul integrity, all those words, medicine. Yeah. Yes. These are my key words in my basket. And the individuals that come on these calls with me, they're overflowing with these kind of words themselves. So it's coming from their essence. So, like I said, I've been doing these for a while. They're coming back in a little more strong as I've been getting the message to have these conversations. And I asked Julie to be on this one because this woman, I want to say she's on fire. She's glowing. So, I just want to talk about when I met Julie, and we have to say thank you for Deborah Jones Deborah's here on the call in the community. It was through Deborah that Julie and I met quite a few years ago when Deborah had started to do her The Successful Healer book, and it was a collaboration of individuals, healers like myself and like Julie, and we had many beautiful afternoons at Julie's house talking about various things that were important and that were awakening and within us, and where we could see things and what we could feel coming forth in the future. And now here we are. I think back to those days, and I just saw Deborah a week ago, I think. I was over at her place, and you know, it's like everything's catch up. And I think Julie even said that in your morning live. Julie does morning lives on her page, everybody, Monday to Friday, typically, just beautiful check-ins. And I feel like, we've gone through a lot, all of us, in the last 3-ish years, but it's like we're starting to get back into something's starting to pick up and move in a more deeper rooted essence for all of us. And so, Julie, when I thought, I was wondering if you would come on and have a conversation with me, it was partly about this. We can feel this building about community, leading from the heart. And plus, you got all these beautiful, magical things that are going on that I want to make sure everybody knows about. But the other thing I want to say about Julie, when I met her, Julie's maybe heard me say this in various other ways. When I met her back in the day at Deborah's, we would talk about like what our medicine and what we're doing and stuff like that. And Julie, love. She's like, I'm just loving everybody. I'm just leading from love. Everything's love. I'm like, love? That sounds so easy and simple, and yet it's not. It's not. And this woman, if anybody, after this call, if you feel a resonance to Julie, follow her, check out what she's doing in her world. We'll all put all the links in the description. But Julie really embodies, radiates, shines, shares. I'm going to get a little emotional here. Love. Yeah. I mean, this woman is love. And if you want a role model in your life, or just the essence, be around this woman. Because I think this has gotten even brighter and stronger over these last few years. And it totally is your thing, is like love, right? So, yeah. Julie, thank you for, coming on to have a call. We're intuitively moving and leading through what this conversation is going to be about. So how are you doing today?
Well, other than being a little teary, awesome, awesome. I just wanted to add something. When we first met and we had those conversations at Deborah's, which were magical times, um, I had only recently discovered that love was my superpower. When I was a teenager, I always thought, what do I want to do when I grow up? And, there are all these options. I wanted to be a teacher, and look, here I am. But I knew that I wanted to love on people. I knew that I wanted to have a family and raise them and just love people, but kind of not in a creepy way. And I just kind of had that on the back burner all the time. And then it was at one of Deborah Jones's gatherings that we gave little elevator speeches about each other. And it was that time that I heard other people saying what they saw in me, and that's what they saw. And that was really what gave me the permission, the confirmation, the confidence to step into it. Like, that is enough. That is enough to be love. That is enough. And then it was like free reign. And over the last few years, I think what's really helped me is learning more about myself and just getting other little confirmations that it's okay to be just love, because that's what the world needs right now. And yeah, so just stepping into that and allowing things to flow. Thank you as well for your support. I've received lots of guidance from Roberta over the last year or so, and through her divination tools and through this beautiful community that you have on Cosmic Weavers, and just really stepping into it and letting go of distractions, releasing things that I don't need to be doing. And then all of a sudden it's just like, wow, I'm just being me, and just being guided, divinely guided, and being open. And yeah, life is really good. Life is really, really good. I'm just so grateful that other people see the need for what I'm offering.
Yeah. Well, and the more people get to know you and see you, that's one of, I think, our challenges sometimes is, getting to know people and how we connect, right? Especially after the last few years, we're coming out in different ways, but we're connecting with, we've all changed. We have different frequencies in higher tones. And now it's like, we're connecting with different people, building different communities. People, right? That have been there from the beginning, and they know you, the essence. I already saw some people here going, absolutely. Cheryl's like, absolutely true. I think that was in regards to that you being love. And Kate is, I hope I'm saying your name right there, love. Julie is the best. I don't know if you can see that.
I did, yeah.
There. So it is enough. I think, isn't that the simplicity of love, which is not so simplistic to be, right? Easy sometimes. It is for some, but sometimes we have to unwind what love is. That's why it's a little more challenging. Because it is simple, and yet it's not, especially if we haven't taken the time to really unweave and understood what that is within us and for us and with others, right? And I know you said as you've gotten to know yourself more, and I know that you've been doing things these last few years about your strengths and your essence and all these different medicines. That's just probably, I would think, echoing, saying, yes, Julie, you are . So as I say that, do you want to share, what have you been doing these last few years that you feel like it has really helped you embody more of who you are and what you're doing in the world, and even just living in your daily life with your partner, with your husband, your children, and that?
Yeah. So one of the things that just came to me as you were talking about love and how it doesn't need to be, sometimes it isn't so simple, was I just had this vision of love being like a book. And within that book are many chapters. So we have compassion, we have forgiveness, we have understanding, we have patience, we have all these other little sublets of love. And sometimes, you might not feel the love, but you can ease into compassion, or you can ease into understanding. And that kind of brings you back into the fold of love. So for me, learning about myself, human design, which I know Deborah and many of us have, some people have been very familiar with it for a long time. I've just discovered about it. So I'm a projector, and knowing that it's okay for me not to be go working all the time, that it's okay to just rest and look back and get the big picture of things, has been wonderfully releasing for me. And I think too, just setting the intention at the beginning of this year, as you said, the last few years have been really difficult to be together in community. And one of the things that really made it possible last year was the festival that we're going to be talking about later in our conversation, but just being together with people. And all of a sudden, I said, it's like all the balls got thrown up into the air and everything kind of settled, and people had an opportunity to shift, where they were settling. And just checking out the scenery and the environment, and okay, well, this is interesting over here, and this is interesting over here. And one of the things that I really said,
we have frozen. Julie's energy is just so
connection. And
just so you know, Julie, you did pause there. You froze for a moment. And you were at the point of what I said, Julie's energy of love is just so, it like froze the system. Noticing people having that time to find the different places to settle in was where you were at. And then we lost you just for a few moments.
Yeah. So I guess just what I wanted to do was be very clear on what I was offering, what place I was offering, what kind of environment I was offering. And that was to be in person with people, to be nurturing, to be sharing, to be learning together. But really just to be together, physically together, was very important for me, which is why I've started all these different activities this year.
Now we had a reading back in
November.
Was it November that you were doing the things that you housed? I'm like, was it then? And just getting clear about you stepping more into leadership and using your voice and taking that lead, even more so because you were already doing it, but it was just like more, be seen more and more, right? And so that I know you definitely have. I mean, I'm seeing it more, seeing you more in how you're stepping more and more into, this is me, this is who I am, and I'm going to embrace it and put it out there even more loudly.
And having clarity, this is how I'm going to do it. I can talk about anything and I can speak with clarity about everything because I know I'm doing it with love. I'm not worried about offending people because I'm not speaking in those tones. I'm speaking through the lens of love with everything I've put out there. And if people take offense, then I feel that it's not the way I presented something, it's how they received it. So, and that's given me so much freedom. I think that's the one word that I think is how I feel right now. It's that freedom just to be me.
Yes. And I mean, I think that word freedom over the last few years has dinged within us in so many different ways. And you saying, I don't have to worry about how I speak, as long as I'm speaking from love, from that heart center place. And it's, we still have, our world's changing. Everybody knows the world's changing out there. There's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of noise. Some of us are we realize we know, but we're also in this, I think we're in this last, few months or so going, no, I know it's out there, there's noise, but now I'm ready to be embodying more of where I'm going, where I think the last few years that, things like where there's been restrictions and stuff that we have really felt with not having freedom and having to watch words so much and all the stickiness and heaviness and feeling like we're coming through the light. Now I know everybody's not coming through the light. Everyone is, sorry, let me restate that. Everybody is light and everybody is coming through the light and everybody is ascending, if you want to use that word. It's just for all at different stages. And so I would say you and I, Julie, it has probably quite a few people in this community. We feel that we're like, it's been really punchy and dark and heavy, where it's like of speaking truth. How do we speak things that maybe some people don't want to hear, and just own who we are and our values and our that, and with love and fighting for freedom, but being the freedom. That's all. I mean, I think, is that not where would you feel that if I say, before we felt like we're fighting for freedom, which there's always this like expansion of fighting for our wanting that beautiful freedom for all of us, but also being the freedom, which then just changes up the energy completely if we can get into that frequency ourselves. Have you noticed that change within yourself in the last year about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was probably over a year ago that I realized, instead of fighting against things, it was time to be what we wanted to be. So instead of fighting for freedom, let's just be free. Instead of fighting for the opportunity to do things, let's just do those things. And I found myself, yeah, it's really interesting. I just had this knowing come into my heart that now is the time. Now it's time to do something differently, and to realize that it's okay to do things differently. And it really gave me the confidence that this is where I need to be putting my efforts into, not fighting for things, but just creating new things and creating community and creating all those things. And yeah, I'm just so grateful for the divine guidance that I've been getting. That's something I really feel. And the more open, the more I release, the more room and space there is. Okay, and I'm going to give a nod to you. When I took your tarot reading course, just having more tools to divine the messages has been really helpful as well. Because sometimes, you know, we get messages audibly, sometimes we get them, we see something, sometimes we read something. And it's just really nice to know that we have all these different tools of receiving messages from spirit and from God, or wherever you receive your messages from. And the more open we are, the more tuned up our receiver is, the more we get and the more we can do with that information. So yeah.
Yeah. You're so welcome. Adding, right, all those tools, not only the tools to help us to receive, but also that echo back of like spirit, divine, God, where, like you say, whatever that beautiful, higher, truer love essence is that you connect with, it shows up even more in so many more places in your life, right? It's, you know, the spirit's coming in and saying, hey, I'm here. I got you. Yes, yes, yes. You know, so yeah, that's why I love teaching some of, you know, those various things, like, because it just gives us more support, right? And
yeah,
trust ourselves too, and the bridge and the connection, right? The bridge connection us to spirit more.
Yeah, I heard another very interesting way of us divining and getting information and little nudges is that recently I met a shaman from Nigeria who's actually going to be doing an event here in a week's time. And one of the things that he said was, our ancestors never leave us, and they're always here to give us those little nudges. And the more we acknowledge that all of that knowledge and wisdom of our ancestors is there for us, they love to get that kind of acknowledgement. And they are more than happy to. I mean, when I was a teenager, I used to ask angels for help. And I didn't know all the names. I didn't know their hierarchy. I just knew that there were angels up there, and all I had to do was ask for help, and they need to be asked. And it's the same with ancestors. They're there to give us those little nudges. And sometimes you go like, why did that pop into my head? And I just say, thank you. I just look up and say, thank you. I don't know if it's an angel, if it was an ancestor, if it was my mother, who it was, but yeah, I'm just really grateful for all the help.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much, right? Help. And I say the last few years, we've been hearing more and more of the importance of working with our ancestors, doing healing with their ancestral line. We had my beautiful friend Maria Perlo was in our community a few weeks ago. She does ancestral healing medicine. I don't know if you call that. And I've been working with her for over a year, working through my lines. And the importance that here, like, they're just there, and then helping them, them helping us. We have so much, we're supported in so many different ways, and we're doing big work. We're doing big work at this time. So I wanted to, you know, when I connected in to talk about, or to do the advertisement, the post for our call, I was like, I had put that we're, you know, living in love, leading from heart, and creating sacred communities. This is what came in when I was thinking about Julie and this conversation. And you're definitely living in love. You're following and moving from that heart space, that soulful heart space in your life. And before we go into that, more about the communities, building sacred communities and events and things that are going on, would you have any advice or anything that you would give individuals about moving more into living in love and leading from your heart? Like, is there any practices that you do or anything that you could share at this time to help them lean even more deeply, or at times that it feels more challenging, you know, because there's sometimes that are more hard to lean into it because the outside world can be so loud for, you know, for some people. So is there any advice or anything there? And I know you're frozen right now because the energy is just building inside you, ready to share something. So there you are, you're back.
No, I'm back. I was waiting. Challenging, did you say?
I just said you're frozen. Energy's just percolating right now to share from this moment, and then you come back.
Yeah. So something that I do share and I really encourage people is to develop a self-care practice. And I love starting my day, put on the coffee or the tea, whatever we're drinking that morning. But yes, but I intentionally try to hold on to as much spaciousness as I can first thing in the morning. I light a candle, I'll burn incense or spray, use some oils, and then I settle onto my knees and I pray. And I always ask for divine guidance, you know, show me how I can lead, show me how I can be of service. And a good friend of mine yesterday shared, show me a way, show me your benevolent guidance, and just ask for that guidance. And then I do a meditation. I love using guided meditations, and I do that. And then I do breath work. And no matter in what state I wake up in the morning, by the time I have done those things, I find I have more connection to myself. I've released any distractions that were with me when I woke up, either from my dreams or from thoughts that were rattling through my head as I lay down to bed. And just starting the day with a clean slate. And then because I have asked for divine guidance is based in love. I love that I have been able to discover Reiki and energy healing. And people say, oh, you know, it's so complicated. And I said, no, it's just love. It's just love. That's all it is. And I think any way that we can connect to the divine, we are bathed in love. And our frequency, our vibration raises automatically just by being present and mindful with that love. And that's how I flip my switch every morning, every single morning. And it's really interesting. I don't always wake up cheery in the morning. I don't always get enough rest. You know, I'm not perfect first thing in the morning, but by the time I finish my practice, I've pressed that reset button and I'm in a really good place. And then it's just a reminder. And I love how the meditations that I choose, sometimes it's a teacher that I like listening to. Sometimes it's just, oh, this sounds interesting. And the divine wisdom has made me choose the right meditation. And it's always exactly what I need. It's always exactly what I need. And just trusting that, you know, I don't need to figure everything out. It will show up for me if that's what I'm asking for. Yeah.
So many things there. I hope did everybody take down notes or say, that one, I love that one. And you know what you didn't say is the essential oils. And you said breath work, but what else do you do in the morning?
My cold plunge, my swim.
Yes, your cold plunge and connecting all the medicine that comes with that, because you've talked about that in the Cosmic Earth Weavers. You've held workshops, community gatherings for that on your property with the beautiful pond that you guys built a few years ago. You just keep adding beauty to it. And of course you got your stream, you got like all these things.
Yeah.
And then I think would you say like even you leaving the house, walking down to your pond, you were talking about your fishies this morning on your morning live, like just nature and how things are moving and growing and changing, and the leaves and the flowers that are popping up, ones you even forgot about, you putting seeds in certain places. I heard you say that this morning, like that connection. Do you find that just resets?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I often talk about the lessons that nature shows me. I think many of us have seen, even in nature, the leaves fall from the trees and the trees release. But there's so much more to that when you observe nature, when you see how birds interact with each other, when you see how plants adjust to where they are. There's so many beautiful lessons in nature. And I think just being present, I walk down barefoot. Barefooting is something new that I'm exploring. I hope to being able to offer to the community. But yeah, certainly that experience of walking down our hill on the dewy grass and hearing the birds, and then knowing that I'm approaching the pond that I enjoy so much. And then now the water's much warmer, but the fish are still there splashing and swimming with me. And my heart just opens up with so much gratitude. A lot of people will comment on my videos, "Oh, you're so lucky." And trust me, I know that. I know how blessed we are. Somebody said, "Oh, that pond is so gorgeous." And I said, the funny thing is that pond wasn't there 3 years ago, but it was always there. All we had to do was discover it. That pond was always there. That spot was always there. All we did was take away some soil and allow the water to flow in. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful analogy. We have everything we need inside us, and the support is all around us. We just need to find our way to it. And for me, it's been through nature, it's been through love, it's been through trusting and forgiving. And I've gone through, many of us in the healing community have had some really hard life lessons leading up to where we are right now. And I've had my lessons in forgiveness and trust and all the things. And it's why we are where we are now.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, all the bumpiness and all the things, we are where we are, and that loving that, like, we are where exactly we are right now. And you said that people say to you, "You're so blessed, you're so lucky." The invitation I would say for everyone is take that sacred pause and look around you in your life, wherever you are, whether you have a pond or not. We are connected to so much around us in our nature. I mean, I think I don't have a pond, but I have Georgia Bay. I have the river. I have it, like, it's like, I got these beautiful trees. I got, like, the escarpment. There's so much around us to be grateful for, or just like the green grass, how green everything is. So like you said, and it's all within us too. What's within us. So taking that sacred pause of hearing and feeling our own beauty and essence, and the gratitude, and let everything, it sounds like what you're saying is like everything just gets, you breathe it in, you see it, you feel it, and it's expanding that heart space and center so that you're more love. And as leading up to like where we are now, we're understanding more importance of community. That word community has come up a lot in so many different ways, but I think these last few years has really, we're looking at things differently about community. We have changed and cleared out our frequency and learned various lessons and things within ourselves that we've had to look at in humanity, and who are the individuals that honoring who we want to spend time with, but that they would, they feel drawn to spend time with us. And you've been moving more and more to building community, inviting people to your home, inviting people to your land. Last year, you had your first Coming Home Festival. This year, you're having the second one, August 11th to the 13th, which I'm going to be at and get to share some of wisdom and magic. And I know that there's people in this community that are going to be there too. We have some new people. And if you want to look at the comments, there's some hellos. And I know your dear friends on here. Hello, Rosalie. I see you. And do you see everybody there? So there's building community in new and different ways and from heart. So tell me
before I get into coming home, what I found was that you used the word to invite. And one thing I learned was that I don't need to go chasing people down. I just need to be myself, and people are attracted to whatever resonance and vibration you're putting off. And for some people, they're not ready to handle that yet. And for some people, they are there and want to support and want to be around that energy. And I just love that I don't have to be chasing anymore. As a business owner, as marketing, we've all done the marketing to attract more people. And I've learned that, I just have to be myself, and I'm not worrying about doing the right thing or saying the right thing. I'm just being me. And those are the people. And with our communities, that's who we've attracted, people who are interested, like, oh, what's Julie doing over there? Or she looks like she's having a lot of fun. And, oh, what is it with this Wim Hof? What is this with getting into the ice pond? And people are saying,
Julie's pausing again because the energy is rising. And we'll give her a moment. And people are saying, well, this is
oh,
where,
here,
oh, you're
here I
back.
am.
Yeah. Julie's energy is rising
so.
again. It's your energy, it's like the frequency can hold Julie.
So yeah,
but people say that part right there.
Yeah, so people are just saying, hey, Julie looks like she's having so much fun. What's she doing over there? And they're all asking, I have a friend, can I invite my friend? So our community is growing spontaneously, organically. And yeah.
It definitely is. I mean, you not only are doing various workshops, you're collaborating with people, having them come in. You've held 2 in this past year. Possibly, I think you did something even the year before, but I know that you had at your home, like the vendors, the artisans vendor, right before Christmas time. You've had house concerts that are supporting artists locally within Ontario that are definitely going to be either been at the Coming Home Festival or will be returning to the Coming Home Festival. And those communities are building because they're just spreading out. As we support each other, right? Do you not notice that, like, as you are more and more in that medicine of just being you and that hub of people connecting to you, but also how you're supporting those that you're drawing over to their communities, like it's just this beautiful blooming essence, right? That's happening in everything. So yeah.
And everything is overlapping, because the workshops that I do, some are based on conversations with women, some are based on teaching about essential oils, some are based on teaching resilience, and they're all different groups, but they're all intersecting now, and they're all coming together. And yeah, that ripple effect is going out there. And when we intersect, that power is magnified and gets bigger and bigger and shining brighter. And yeah, it's very powerful stuff. Very powerful stuff.
So when I say here, as like I said, we're streaming to the Cosmic Earth community, when teachers are coming in, members are coming in to do something, like there's no selling. We're undoing the old paradigm of all the rush and all these things. That's not what we're doing in this community or in our lives. It's you show up and you just be you. You choose whatever you're chatting about and you're doing because it's lighting you up, and that frequency alone is what will draw and connect to whoever's watching you that comes in, and they'll reach out to you. They'll be like, well, who is this person? Oh, I'm loving their energy, like you're their medicine. I want to just go check it out. And that's where I'm like, this is our new way, us showing it more deeply who we are, and just not being afraid to let it shine, right? To be that. And so the Coming Home community, or Coming Home Festival.
It's a community too. Yeah.
So tell us about this. I know I already said that it's happening. The second one is happening August 11th to the 13th on your property, your husband's property, which is in the Grand Valley area of Ontario. And so tell us about what's going on, anything you want to share about that.
Yeah, so Coming Home was the festival was the brainchild of a dear friend of ours, Christine Larocque. And what she found happening was there were some communities that were excluding people because of some choices that they made. And there were a lot of our friends who were musicians and artists were part of that group. And she said, I want to hold a festival and invite musicians and healers together. And she asked us if we would be willing to host it. And we said yes. We walked around with her and we said yes. And it's funny because just a year prior to that, the summer before that, as Ralph and I were sitting enjoying our beautiful pond, I looked at him and I said, we need to do something for the musicians. Let's just invite our friends who are musicians to come and we'll all chip in, throw us some money into a hat and get them. And then lo and behold, Christine approached us in March and said, let's do this festival together. So in just 4.5 months, we put together this beautiful gathering. We had over 120 people visiting our home, not all on the same day. And it was wonderful just to be able to hold space for the magic that happened, that we had bands, we had healers, we had artisans, we had food vendors, we had strangers meeting each other for the first time in the environment of just open love. Like love was saturating our property. It was like this love fest, and people were hugging and listening to each other and hearing each other's stories. So it was just this beautiful frequency of love and understanding and compassion for each other. And I was getting 6 or 7 hours sleep and go all day, and I wasn't tired at all. And so many people who came up to us and said, this was so important. Thank you for opening up your home. And afterwards, people said, are you guys nuts? You let all those people onto your property and in your home and in your kitchen and take over? And I said, it was what we had to do for people. It was what we wanted to do for people. And there wasn't a single incident that happened that made me regret hosting this. And this year, we're doing more. I'm not saying we're going bigger, we're just going more. We have 12 beautiful bands and workshops, and we've got more hiking trails and artisans. And oh, I'm just so grateful that you're coming to join us this year. And so many people who heard about it last year who couldn't make it are now coming. People who were there last year are now sharing with their friends. So I know we're going to be at least twice as big as last year. And the energy that's so palpable, I find that when we're doing any of our community events, whether it's our drumming circles or anything else, the energy is so beautiful. And I had this epiphany last week that when we are creating the space of high vibration, anybody who comes into that space is literally, this is our hashtag for the festival this year, but we are literally coming home to heal, because we are coming home to our hearts. And that energy is healing everybody. I believe it's happening physically, mentally, spiritually, all the ways that we can heal together. And yeah, it's magical. I haven't fully been able to process all of that. It's just this feeling that I have, and it's just like, it sounds nutty, but we're doing it. We're doing it. And yeah, and the magic that happens, like I'm just, if you've not heard about our festival, go to the website because it's gorgeous. We have all the information there. You can listen to the bands and choose which day you want to come in. We're offering camping and being on the land. Our birds will be practicing for you and singing, and the gardens are gorgeous. And it's just, it really is a place for you to heal and to heal with others. And when we get together, that love is amplified, and it's just absolutely magical. Absolutely magical. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, if there's anybody's like, you go, I'm like, oh, what am I taking in? What like artist that's going to be there playing it or whatever. Those are all the cherry on top. I'm hearing and I'm feeling is you just being there and whatever you experience, whether it's a workshop or you meet someone at one of the vendors and you connect to listening to some of the artists play and sing. I mean, because I've been to a few of them. I've heard a few of them, obviously through Julia at her home. I think the more important thing is if you need to be saturated in love, if you need to feel community, acceptance, a grounding and a peace and a calm in nature, just come and get filled up.
Yeah, exactly. Last year, after our festival was over, Ralph said, I've never hugged so many people. I've never hugged so many people. And yeah, and we were all looking at each other and looking into people's eyes like total strangers and just seeing each other. there were no filters. Like we just dove right into each other's heart space. And it was just, yeah, it is so healing. And that's something that thank you for bringing that up. We are trying to share with other people that this is not just about listening to music. It's not just about buying things from beautiful artisans, not just attending workshops, just being here, waking up in the morning, seeing the mist rising on the field, hearing the birds calling, at night hearing the coyotes sometimes, all of those things that are that reconnection to nature, that you can walk around barefoot in your tie-dye shirt all weekend long if you want to, or you can just sit quietly, find a quiet corner and just sit and absorb and watch. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be enjoying the mornings. I'll have my tent and enjoying, a tea, a cup of coffee, and just sitting and being. I mean, that just in itself sounds lovely. And see, she has frozen again because her energy is just so vibrant. So if you guys, so you're froze again, I'm like, so Julie's energy is so vibrant. So tell them the website. And I'll put them all in the attaching to this recording.
Right. So we are www.cominghomefestival.com. So cominghomefestival.com. We're also on Instagram under the same name, cominghomefestival.com. Coming Home Festival. We have an event page that I go live in every Friday just to give people a tour of the property. But yeah, it's Coming Home Festival.
Yeah, just Coming Home Festival. Google that.
Yeah.
Duck it or Bing it or whatever you.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
all those things.
All those new search engines.
And so there's options. You don't have to be there for the whole weekend. If you're like, wow, that camping and all that, you don't have to camp. Yep. You can come just for a day, you come for afternoon, you come for a couple of days. I believe you have various options for that, right?
Right. So children 12 and under are free. It's a family-friendly event. And we've got this amazing bubble bus that's highly entertaining for the kids. We have children's area. Yeah, I know. We have all the day passes include camping. So after the musicians finish playing, we have an acoustic fire and the musicians bring their instruments around a big bonfire as a community. And we go until midnight if you'd like. You can buy a weekend pass, go home, sleep, come back. But we just wanted to give as many options as possible. We have a youth pass, an adult pass. Yeah, we just wanted to make it as inviting and accessible for everybody as possible.
Yeah. And I know I was reading some of the emails that I'm getting as a workshop presenter, and I'm learning even things through those emails. You'll have an area, like you're going to have some people, like foodie people.
Mm-hmm.
There to get some food, but also tell me if I'm correct in what is in my brain here, that there is an area that will be, if you're bringing some food yourself to cook, like,
oh yeah, definitely,
like an area of fire wise,
yeah.
Making sure everybody's being responsible and that in regards to fire and what the land, but there will be an area, right, that you can also just cook some of your meals and do stuff.
We have a community hub set up for the campers or for the day people, which will be under tent. We'll have potable water. We'll have areas for you to bring your propane cookers, your camping cooking tools, and we'll have cold water showers. And we'll make it a nice place for people to stay for the weekend if they choose to. Yeah. You're welcome to bring in your own food if you want, but we do have 2 amazing food trucks and then some extra food vendors as well for all.
Do you get to share any of those? Do you get to?
They're all on the website.
Okay.
They're all on the website, but we have a wonderful woman, a local woman who's bringing her Caribbean style cooking in. We've got crepes for breakfast. We've got gluten-free options with Scotty's Deli. Bringing in lots of stuff there. Yeah, we're still, just go on the website. We have the whole menu there.
And so I believe all the deadlines for everybody for this year for this event has closed now, right? For, artisans and workshop people and the volunteers, you've gotten your team ready for this year.
Right. We do have a waiting list for volunteers. life happens. Sometimes things come up and some people might not be able to. So if you are
Barb,
interested.
Answering this question, because Barb asked the question. Wait list
Yep.
on the Coming Home Festival.
You can get onto the website. Yep.
Okay. And this afternoon, you were going live in your page. And so this is a Facebook page. Is this what, when you say page?
So this is, yep. In the Coming Home Festival Facebook page, there is an event within that page. And I'll be going live and I'll share it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. You're sharing the property.
Yeah. I'm sharing all the new sitting areas that we've done and a few little new pathways. So last year we had the Magic on the Hill. This year we've got the terrace. We have a big hill.
Yes. We
have a big hill. And what we've done is we've cut that distance halfway and made a terrace so you can take a shortcut.
Nice. That's going to be new to me because unfortunately I thought I was going to be there last year, but then, life had to go off to Ireland. So it's so exciting to see these spots and how much you've expanded. Like you said, it's about more, like there's just more that you're adding to this to be nurtured more like in that essence. And for those, I think also possibly important for those that might be thinking about this and feeling into it is it's going to be divinely the right amount of individuals and people, and that sometimes some of us don't feel like we want to be around so many people and so big crowds. This is not that energetic. It's just, you can feel it's going to be exactly nurturing what it needs to be.
Yeah, we're what we call a boutique festival. Yes, and we do have a very large property and we have it spread out so that you will never feel crowded unless you want to.
That's right.
Unless you want to, yeah.
Just give it all those different feels for all the different energetics, the nervous system within people, all of that. Just, I think that's important, especially what we're going through, but what people have gone through. Sometimes we're a little more aware now of those frequencies and what we need. So just giving you guys a little essence to it. Check out, like I said, the website, cominghomefestival.com. And then there's the Instagram, Coming Home Festival. And then there's the Facebook page and the event, and that is in there. Julie does lives and no doubt other things are going on in there. And August 13th or 11th to the 13th. Just going to be here in no time. Anya is here. She's on the live right now. I do believe you're going to be there, right? Your friend Anya? Am I saying her name? Anya? Your friend that does all the soap.
Oh, Yana. Yes, Yana.
Yana,
yes.
Something will be going on, she says. And
yes,
she said,
okay.
Yes, Roberta.
Yeah. There's
so anybody, I would say anybody that's in the community that, because I do believe there's other people in the community that are a part of this, going to this, tell us in this feed here in our community that's going live. So we can see who you are. I like to see who you are, because if I haven't met you in person, I want hugs. I want to see you that weekend. No doubt Julie does too. So let us know. And like I said, where I share this on other platforms, and Julie will share it too, we'll make sure we have all these links nice and easy for you to connect with. So anything else before we kind of wrap up? Because, we could talk all day, but, there's we got to get going and doing. Obviously, like you got to do a walkabout on your property in a bit. Anything you would like to add or share as we wrap up this moment in time in this day?
I believe in miracles. I think there is so much abundance available for all of us. We have been conditioned, I think, growing up that there's always deadlines, there's limits on things, and there's all these things that close us down. And I know that now is the time to just break free of all of those things and just know that there is everything that we need is out there, and we just need to connect. And I'm just so very grateful for you, Roberta, my dear friend. I'm going to cry again, but yeah, and for everybody who's going to be joining us at the festival. everybody in this beautiful Cosmic Weavers community. Yeah, there is just so much. I will never, ever feel needy again, ever. Yeah. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need. And all
Love
you
is all you
need
need.
is you, because you are the love, you are the essence. And I just went, when you were talking about your, in the morning, I just have to say this, that reflection of nature, when you go out in the morning and just how, from whatever season it is, it's that beautiful reflection. It's just doing its thing. It's being its thing. That flower is growing, rooting, opening up, doing its seasons, its cycle. And we are that. That is our beautiful reflection. Even as your pond in the morning shifts and changes and everything throughout the seasons, and you're swimming in the coldness, all that. This is our beautiful essence, the reminder of nature that says you just got to be still and be you, right? Be still in yourself to let yourself just bloom and nourish through your different seasons. And we have different seasons. So I no doubt that this is going to be reflected on your property. It's there. Even come for just that. Just that. Just
yeah.
So thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning and having some beautiful conversations and talking about a little bit of the journey and all the magic that you are, but also we're going to get to have an experience to actually touch, breathe, feel this summer. So thank you, dear friend.
You're very welcome. I love you. Thank you.
And thank you, everybody that's been here. I know there's some people coming in. No, Deborah's here. Barb found her way. She'll probably be going over to check out things on the website. Cheryl, so glad to have you into the community. And no doubt we're going to have Deborah as one of our sacred conversation people. It was like, yes, Roberta, I can hear it now, Deborah. Many more of these, because it really highlights us showing what who we are, what we've gone through, being real, even with messiness at the beginning, technical, but also it's like, this is where we are, like, and this is where we're going, and we're going together. We're creating and building together. Deborah's laughing, a big LOL. I think that still says yes. All right, so I think that all the things we want to touch on. Once again, thank you so much, Julie, for being here, and thank you, community, for
You're very welcome.
Here being saying hello and all the things. And everybody, enjoy your weekend.
Yes, love you all.